For the financial sector, the challenge is where to get the data from related to water use in the mining industry, how to convert that into metrics that are meaningful to the sector, and to make sure that that is related to really to what's happening at the operational level. What you can see here on the vertical axis is the intensity, the water consumption intensity, compared to the benchmark of the total amount of copper producers globally. Where P50 in this, of 50% here, would be the average of the total amount of copper being produced with that consumption intensity. As you can see, not all of the mining companies have a single dot as the average water consumption. They all have a bar, and the extension of that of the vertical bar relates to the difference between the water consumption intensity of the lower or the better operating assets compared to the more water consuming assets. And as you can see, the majority of the operation of the companies have very poor operating consumption, water consumption assets, and very good water consumption assets. And on the right side is the table that goes with that. So if, the majority have it goes between 2 and 10 operating mines. And with the owned production and the operated versus owned indicator. And with that, I mean, when a mining company reports their water use in their sustainability report, for example, and they do that on the basis of the amount of the assets they directly operate. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they also own the copper that is being produced at each asset. And the operated versus owned difference that you see in the last column in the table refers to that. Interesting, for example, that Rio Tinto owns 69% more copper production than what it reports on from a water use perspective. And that specifically relates to the Escondida mine, where they have a big chunk of that are a minority shareholder. And that's being shown in the different colors of the dots here, in the consumption, water consumption benchmark. And the darker dots represent the operated water consumption. So that is the water consumption for each of the operations that they manage. But the total owned water consumption benchmark, and with that, the exposure to any water-related risks, is associated to the reddish colored dots. So that's especially for a third party stakeholder, the financial sector, for example. That is important to understand that difference, because that can be substantial.